Nerds. 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 Hello. Let me just adjust the microphone because it's making silly noises. Oh man, it might not work. It works really well when it's connected to a hoodie, but for some reason it's insisting on being really close to my body. Let me just detach it. Let me just break my microphone to start the stream. How about that? Let's just break everything. Oh, this is going so well. I'm going to readjust this thing. They give you like a million different clipping options for these things, and I thought I had it on the right one, but clearly not, because it did not like being attached to me. So let's try this. Let's see if this is any better. Hopefully it is, and if not... Come on. Oh, it's not any better. Oh, come on. Alright. I didn't expect this tech issue right at the start of the stream. I spent like a little bit of time before I went live getting all this stuff to like be really good. And then I went live and look what happened. Not so good. These... Oh, come on. I never know how you're meant to actually clip these things, really. Like, there's like 17 different ways to do it. It's not really that obvious. Maybe I'll do that. Let's see what that's like. Well, that seems like it'd work. Amusing to what? I mean, that's what I'm going for here. Not going for drumming or anything. How's that? I can move around and it's not too bad, is it? It's probably a little bit echoey, but let's do that. Let's go with that. Yeah! Sick. Oh my gosh. Do you remember last stream I was like, hey, what's this microphone sound like? And you're like, oh, yeah, it's alright. It's so much better than having a mic directly in front of my face the whole time that I'm doing these streams, but you do sacrifice a little bit of audio quality. Like if I talk there, and then if I go near it, it's like a bee's flown past your ear. You know exactly what I mean, don't you? Right. I'm going to play some drums to kick things off. Welcome, everyone, to the stream of the week, featuring me and whoever turns up to hang out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, actually, you would be subscribed to the channel if you're watching this, I think, because it's in subscriber-only mode. That might mean that only subscribers can chat. I don't know. I'm still learning these things. But if you're in chat, thank you very much. Hello, nice to see you. Hope you had a nice week. Let's do a song I don't do all that often because I don't. The live is public, only the chat is subs. Okay, that's good to know. I think I knew that, but clearly not. Alright, this is a song called Echoes. Yes, it's the Nickelback Tesseract song. I used to lovingly refer to this one as Three Blind Mice because it's ding ding ding, so there's 3 notes. But it's quite fun to play, even though I didn't think it was at first. Now, rather annoyingly, I've been experiencing an IEM cable issue the last couple of days, and it's showing up right now, which is the worst. I'm losing the high end in this ear. Not good. It's not what you want. It's super distracting. I'm practicing new Tesseract stuff at the moment. Not right now, like at the moment, generally this week. And I've been noticing, I was like, why does it feel like it's like this ear's sucked out, something's going on. And whenever I fiddle this cable and push it really hard, I'll get the high end back. So I'm gonna have to speak to 64 Audio and be like, oi, excuse me, cable please. But they're really good, they send stuff out super quick. Last time I had to get one, it was like a couple of days later and I got it. Tell you what else is really annoying, these trousers. This is so... They've like, I like wearing them, but they've shrunk a little bit in the wash, and they're riding really high up on my right leg, and it's making, I can feel them. I can feel the bottom of the trousers like rising up as I'm playing, and it's driving me crazy. Anyway, this isn't the reason we're here. You're not here because you care about my trousers, probably. I mean, maybe you care about my trousers. We had a moment in the Discord a moment ago, where this live stream was referred to as a love stream. That's quite nice, isn't it? People were calling it a love stream. I like to think that maybe you guys feel loved while you're here, hopefully. I'm sending out that vibe. But yeah, I'm not about to start an OnlyFans for you guys. OnlyFlams, that was the joke that we threw out there, wasn't it? We like that one. But who came up with that? Because wasn't that a Craig Reynolds thing? It might have been a Craig Reynolds thing. Anyway, genius idea, just like drummers playing naked. Would anyone tune into that? Would that be for anyone? It's a very niche audience, isn't it? It's like super niche. I don't know if I'd be on that one. I don't know. Give me like 18 months in the gym and we'll think about it. And I'd have to charge quite a lot more to be on that one, if I'm being honest. That's there's a higher payment barrier to for me to participate in that one. Anyway, OnlyFlams, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the dark web sometime later in 2026. So stupid. Right. Scratch his neck. You all got any of them new Tesseract songs? Yeah, we're working on new Tesseract. I'm recording next month in the UK. We're going back to Middle Farm. It's going to be great. It's always a good time there, and I got to learn the music. I really wish this would just stay there and not. Let's try it a bit higher, shall we? let's try that. Oh, that might be better. I've put it on the collary bit instead of the t-shirty bit. Oh, that's way better. I can kind of hear that it's better. Yeah, I fixed it. All right. Yeah, we're going into the studio to record new Tesseract. How exciting is that? So I've been practicing it the past couple of weeks, and it's sounding good. I said that as I'm just staring into space. It's sounding good, convincing myself that I can play it. But no, it is coming together. The dumb thing is, right, we've got a few tracks. We're recording in a couple of separate stages. We're not trying to do it all at once this time, which is nice. It gives us like a moment to focus on a piece of music or a little collection of songs, and then another moment to do the same thing later. And there's only like 2 songs of 4 that we're trying to record that have been like decided on, and I'm running out of time because I leave on the 31st. So for every passing day that happens, I'm getting less and less time to spend the time learning the stuff that I'm going to be playing in April. So that's fun. That's not at all stressful. But yeah, we're recording a song called Stephen Flow. Another song called Alison's Changed. And what's the other one? What's it called? I can't remember the demo name. I probably shouldn't say the real name of the song yet in case they don't want me to say it. But there's another one that I was practicing today, and there was a really difficult bit in it. You know the song Sacrifice, where you've got that stack section? That thing, right? So there's a groove that is up at 132 BPM that's got that kind of thing going on where the stack is doing something different, and it's very, very difficult. It's really difficult to flipping get down. I've been practicing that a lot today, or this week, and I finally got it down today. It clicked. I was like, oh, okay, that's where that one is, because it takes repeated efforts, like repeated attempts for these things to lock into place. And the key to getting these things down, like I'm getting better and better at it, because with each new difficult thing you learn, you add something new to your vocabulary, to your abilities, whatever it is. And that kind of compounds. The more you do that, you kind of get better just as a drummer, but you also get better at the process of learning. That's also something that happens. And the last couple of days, like yesterday, I did 3 short practice sessions. I did like maybe about 11 a.m., then like a 2 p.m., and then about a 6, 7 p.m. one, all focused around the same song, just like getting through the bits of the same song. And this is a song I hadn't played at all yet. I'd only been listening to it, and I got most of it down in a day, which is insane. So the way that I want to show you real quick. I haven't got the song open that I can go through, but I can go through a different type of thing. The way that I kind of set these things up when I'm learning a new song is, I think, really useful, right? So if I switch to my computer real quick, ta-da! You have a computer. Check this out. Right, so I set up a few things, right? That's Echoes, that song I just played, right? That is in Cubase. In fact, it's probably easier if I show you a song that's actually on the grid, because these are just dragged in. So like Dystopia, that's there, right? So the things that I would do is I go through and I'll like identify, right, I've got like intro, and I'll create a section here where I'll just like snip the intro, and I'll go through an entire song and I'll separate it out into parts. And a part is subjective. I would have like intro, verse, like there might be a fill at the end of the verse that's difficult, and I'll chop that up as well. And then chorus, and then whatever. You have to go through the entire song with it on the grid like this and make all of these divides, slice it up. Then, when you've got those divides, what I'd do is I'd add an instance of Easy Drummer, right? So I'd open up Easy Drummer in Cubase, and I program in the drums that I want to see. And what I'm going to do is have like the kick drum, the snare, the whatever my right hand's doing, and I'll go and do that for all of the bits of the songs where there's something really specific happening that I can't do yet. And I colour all of those. I go through and I colour it red, right? Traffic light system. So I can't play it yet, it's red. And then as I work on the individual bits of the song that I've chopped up, when I get good at a bit, it goes orange. That means it's in progress. And then when I can like fully play it, it goes green. And the goal is to make the whole thing green before I get to a studio. Well, that's kind of what I have to do. And it works really well. So you have like, you can see visually out what you've got to work on instead of kind of guessing when you go through the song. And having that tool to do that is flipping brilliant. And something else we learned this flipping week, or last week, can't believe it took us a year, 30 years, my entire life to figure this out, was musical mode in Cubase. I don't know if you guys are using this. It's probably not going to work in this project that I'm in because it's got a million different things in it. But if, how can I show you this? I don't think I can. Let me try. So it's going to completely throw my project off if I try and do it in this one, I think. But if you're just working with a single song, right, and you know the tempo of that song, if you do Command and P in Cubase, it opens up your pool, right? You go to Audio, and you find you'd only have like a couple of tracks in here, probably like the original track. You write in the tempo there of what it is, right? You type the number, and then you click where it says musical mode there. You put a little X in that box. And then what happens is when you change the tempo, everything changes. Absolutely everything in the project. Your program drums slow down. The music slows down but keeps its pitch. And bloody hell, that's amazing for practicing. That is an insane hack for practicing. What I used to do, and even at the beginning of the masterclass that I'm teaching at the moment, the lesson that I recorded for that like 6 months ago, I'm gonna have to go in and update it now because I do something different. I used to create these like steps that were like 10 or 15 BPM increments that I could just quickly skip to. And I don't need to do that now because all I do is I get my mouse and I scroll up a little bit on the tempo and it makes it a bit faster. It's a really fast way of working. So yeah, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an insight into the learning process for this stuff. And what I do is I call it the traffic light system, and I'm trying to get everything from red, where I can't do it, into the amber. When it's amber, I know that I'm working on it. When it's green, I know that I can do it. And in a pinch in the studio, even if I'm recording things separately, like I'm recording the verse, like the intro and then the verse and then the chorus and whatever, because we do that sometimes, I'll know that I'd be able to just do that bit when it's green. And then the goal, though, is to be able to play it all the way through, which I have to be able to do for live. But there we go. There we go. How good's that? What are we saying? Do I prefer for practice at home, e-kit or acoustic? I don't know that it's really about preference. I think that it's more about what you can have. You know, like, I think if you've got space for an acoustic kit and you're playing live drums, then an acoustic kit gives you the advantage because it's closer to what you are going to be doing live, right? If playing an acoustic kit at home is problematic because you've got neighbours or it gives you time constraints, any of the above, like, then an electric kit is better because it lets you practice pretty much whenever. I've got the electric kit here because it's I haven't got the acoustic studio set up yet. That's being worked on as we speak. Well, kind of. It's a building like 50 yards behind me that is still going to be soundproofed. But yeah, I ultimately I want an acoustic studio at home again. But I've got this wonderful Roland kit, which gets me very close to what I need to be able to do. Like super close. I don't need to like switch too often between an acoustic kit and this kit to learn everything I need to learn. The main thing that I think is different between the two, the thing that doesn't really translate is how much harder you need to hit the snare for rim shots. So when we hadn't toured in quite a long time because of COVID, the first show that I had back, I basically forgot how to play the snare and I had to put it at a really weird angle. So if you're playing live and you practice mostly on an E kit, I would, if you had to make one change to that E kit that got you like the rest of the way for your practice sessions, you could just throw a real snare in there occasionally, because you're going to have to learn to play that thing properly. So yeah, that's kind of what I'd say. But these kits are so good now, these electric kits, that they're getting closer and closer to feeling like you're playing an acoustic kit, but there is always going to be a trade-off. Like there's always going to be a trade-off. The good thing with this though is that you've got a million sounds that are built into these modules these days, and the sounds in them are getting a lot better. And you've also got the option to plug into external software like me. Like I'm using, where is it? This thing. Amazing sounding drums, right? So you've always got that option, and you can do that even on the older kits. If you just want an upgrade to for an older kit, you can just plug into one of those. So there we go. What shoes am I wearing for drumming? Allbirds things. They're like super flexible. I like them. They're the what are they? What's it say? TRM9. Don't know what that means. TR, some kind of runner, technical runner, track runner. M9. Don't know what M9 means. 9 is probably the size. M, male. Do they do male and female shoes? I don't know. But yeah, I like those. I could do with another pair of them, to be honest, because I wear these all the time. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter too much on the brand. It's more the just the comfort when I'm playing. I don't like playing with no shoes. This is such a funny thing. I know some drummers love shoes. Some drummers love playing without them. It's just like whatever you need to do, whatever feels good for your style of playing. Some people need to feel like the pedals underneath the feet. I hate that. It's grim. I don't like how that feels at all. Some players can play barefoot. It's like, hell no. Like, no. Just straight up no. And some of the, like Gene Hoglan, for example, plays with their massive boots on and ankle weights and stuff. So it's just like, whatever floats your boat. You don't need to follow what anyone does. You need to do your thing. While we're on the topic, why does Moss play barefoot? He doesn't own shoes. He floats around. It might look like he's barefoot, but he's actually just floating just a little bit above the stage, using his powers. I don't know. He's played without shoes for a very long time, and he said it helps him balance more on stage and connect more. I don't know. It's just his preference, right? So there we go. Mr. Smithers, you'd love to learn drums, but guitar is hard enough to get good at. You don't have time for both. Focus on one instrument. I used to play guitar quite a bit. I used to play keyboards quite a bit. I basically stopped playing guitar. I played guitar more than I played drums. Like through my late teens, my mid to late teens and early 20s, I was playing guitar quite a lot more than drums. I had a 5150 and a stack, like a 4x12 and the amp and everything in my tiny bedroom at home, because I just loved playing guitar, and I could just about get that on like the first setting of loudness. You could have it all the way down and you could still hear it, but I'd turn it up and it was like a bit too loud to have in the house, but I'd crank it whenever my parents went out, and it was brilliant. Because I was writing the guitar for the band that I was in, and I used to love doing it. But when I joined Tess, I was like, okay, I'm finally in a band where I'm not better than the guitarists. So that was, that's harsh to say, but I was a fairly decent guitarist in the bands that I was the drummer in. So I was writing these things, and then the guitarists were struggling to play some of it sometimes. So yeah, I was looking to join a band with a guitarist with it better than me, and that's what I found in Tesseract. So I focused on drums. I decided at that point, it's like, right, don't need guitars anymore. But I still get like guitar ideas in my mind. I just haven't got I haven't got the ability anymore to put them down, and it is crazy because I hear people will come to me sometimes and say, oh man, I haven't drummed in like 20 years and I want to pick it back up, and I feel as though they should just be able to pick it back up because they played 20 years ago, so they're going to have some of that ability. And it's like, man, you revert to like such basic coding when you haven't been practicing the thing that entire time. Because if I pick up a guitar now, I kind of roughly know the basic chords. I kind of know what to do with my hands. I've still got the motion in this hand to do basic stuff. I can strum and whatever. I used to do a lot of tapping. I still know some patterns from that. But like in terms of structuring an arrangement and chords that make sense going from one to the next, it's all just kind of it'd be a mess. And I think the same has got to be true for drumming. If you haven't done it in quite a long time, you come back to it, probably feels kind of weird. So yeah, I get it. Are we going to see you on the Downbeat podcast anytime soon? I've got no idea. Probably not. I don't. I was on the very first one, the very very first one. I don't even know if it was a video. I think it might have just been audio. And we did speak a while ago about being on it again, and then I was trying to get. I started a conversation where like all of Tesseract would be on it at some point, and we had a few messages back and forth, and then it just fizzled out. So I'm not sure. I don't know. Anyway, what else are we saying? I might play another song. I think I've missed some messages from you guys. Let me just scroll up. Chad, what are we saying? Have I got Survival loaded up to play tonight? I haven't. I've got... I mean, I could play along to it with... like... on Tidal, so I could just kind of play along, but the drums would be in there. Might sound a bit rubbish because there'd be two lots of drums. I'd have to remember Survival. How does that one go? Okay, I've got it. It's the one where the video is like a car advert. It's like a VW Golf advert or something. Like, God knows. They just used a load of drone footage of a car driving around Scotland or something, and it was just like, why? Why are we advertising a car in this video? We didn't get paid by a car company, but yeah, you get better at videos as you go on, or as we've discovered. I haven't really been a fan of most of our videos. Like, what's this about? So right, the War of Being one was cool. I think Juno was kind of cool. Legion was really cool. War of Being videos were actually really good, but the ones before that. I suppose Eden was good back in the day. That felt like a good one. Nocturne was okay. Singularity. Did anyone see that one? Singularity was we lost creative control. It was handed in like the day before it was scheduled to be published, and we were just like, you've got to put it out, guys. And we're like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's basically soft porn. It's this model writhing around in lingerie, getting like sexed by an octopus. It's the randomest thing. Why is that the video? And the idea was the guys that made it. We knew the guys that made it, and they were like, Moss was in a band with them ages ago called Fight Star in the UK, and it was two of the guys that were in Fight Star that made the video, and. Their goal was to create something that visually was like would have gone viral. Like the video alone was enough to go viral, and then our music is over it. Well, I don't know if that happened. I think it just shocked a few Tesseract videos. Amos was in Fight Star. Amos, he started out as a tech in Fight Star, and he ended up playing guitar on a load of the songs where Charlie was playing keyboards live. So Moss would jump up on stage and do that. And Omar, their drummer, went to school with Moss and James. That's the connection. And he ended up being our first manager, which is completely random. But yeah, there's a random Fightstar Tesseract link. And I remember going to like a Kerrang Award thing because we were all on Fightstar's guest list and thinking that it was really cool. This was like years ago, like 20 years ago. I was like, oh my God, I'm at this like Metal Hammer after show party, and the only reason I got here is because Moss is like teching with Fightstar and playing guitar sometimes. But yeah, it's a very very small world. There's lots of people. Everyone knows everyone in this industry. Well, not everyone, but yeah, it's a lot smaller than you'd think. You bump into people who you were in a band with years ago and they're playing for someone else now, or like for what's his name? He was in Bring Me the Horizon, Jordan Fish. Like I've kind of known him for years, not known him well, but for years. He was in a band that used to use my studios in Reading. He was in a band called Godwits with the guitarist from my previous band. And then he went on and did Bring Me the Horizon, like flipping amazing. And him and Moss were hanging out the other day at the flipping, the 6th show. I saw a photo and it was him and Moss having a passionate kiss. Thought that was nice. They weren't doing that. But everyone kind of knows everyone. Like it's just how it goes. Song time. Someone said a moment ago, I'm playing songs, I'm taking requests and stuff. You can ask me to do a song. It's got to be a Tesseract one. If it's not a Tesseract one, I get smashed in the face by YouTube's legal department. Well, really, that doesn't happen. I'll just get a little flag on my account saying, "Oh, naughty boy, you played music on the internet. How dare you?" I wish they'd figure out a way for people to do that and like just take the ad revenue or something from the stream when they're doing it. Doesn't that make sense? Anyway, how's the size of your drum kit? Because you need to build a platform for an apartment. I don't know, I haven't measured it. It mostly fits on, if you can see from the overhead shot, there's a yellow rug that is around this, right? I would say it's 5 foot, maybe 6 foot? No, that's not 6 foot, I could lie in. I'm gonna say 5 foot by 8 foot rug. It fits on that. But if you also want to fit on it, you'd have to make it probably 7 foot. Yeah, I would say that. Have you ever tried to play Meshuggah? Yes! I did a thing the other day where a couple of streams ago where we did what Meshuggah groove is this? And we played a bunch of Meshuggah grooves and people like guessed correctly. Because everyone knows Meshuggah grooves. Can I play Messenger? Again, I don't have Messenger lined up. Here's the deal, and you guys that tune in regularly know this. I have a handful of Tesseract songs ready to go. I don't have them all yet. I haven't had the bandwidth / I haven't prioritized adding all of the songs into this thing, but I am slowly going through and adding them one song at a time. The alternative is I can try and play a couple of these songs just to Tidal. So I could, let's see, there were a couple of requests, so maybe I'll just get Tidal going, and that seems like it would be not a shit idea. I need to install Tidal on this thing. Every time I just have to go to tidal.com and say, yes, I am me, and then, right, let's find it. Explore, band, Tesseract. What's the song called? Tesseract. There was 2 requests, wasn't there? Let's do Messenger first. This one's difficult as hell, if I remember correctly. Is this? I think it's that one, isn't it? All right, I'm going to give this a go. If it's rubbish, it's your fault. Oh my god, it's been forever since I played that. I forgot all of those changes. Holy cow. Tell you what's really difficult about that one? It's all single kick. It's like you're having to do all of that kind of stuff. And when you don't play that in a long time, holy crap, it's difficult to do it. So yeah, I used to play that quite a lot on Twitch back in the day, and I knew all the changes, but forgot a lot of them then, didn't I? But it was still fun. And there was another one, Survival, which I don't think is quite as difficult. Let's give that one a go.
Where the vision of tomorrow will I disappear?
Ooh, that was fun. That's one of them songs that I can remember the like the patterns for, more or less, because we played it live a bunch of times. We haven't played it in a long time. I haven't played that in probably years. Literally, I don't think I've played that in years, but the patterns are still there, so I can kind of play around them, if that makes sense. Jay drinking ASMR stream. That was nice. So yeah, that's a fun one. Survival, everyone. Now that was a bit of zone 2 for me to stay in. That was fun. What was the other one we did? Messenger. Messenger's definitely a lot more difficult to play, just because you got to do the 3/2 poly all the way through it, pretty much. There's 2 metronomes that work for that song, and yeah, you can kind of hear either of them at the same time. You think every drum set that's DW and Meinl, you just love both these brands. You think every drum set that's DW and Meinl, I think you mean you love. Should go and check out go and check out my drum kit, DW and Meinl. It's beautiful, right? I am a fan of both things. Obviously, that's the good thing about, like, the further you continue down the path of like trying to be a drummer, trying to explore your craft, trying to get better at it. If you're lucky and you keep working hard at it, you might end up at a destination where you get to work with the companies that you want to work with, like the companies that were kind of romantic, right? I romanticized, like, DW for sure was just like the drum kit company above all of them for me. That was like the company that I wanted to work with. But I worked with other companies on my path to reaching DW. I always felt, correctly or incorrectly, I don't know what the truth was because I didn't apply before, but I put off applying to be a DW artist until I felt internally that I was worthy of being a DW artist. And it was around Tesseract's 3rd album, I think, maybe even the 4th album. It was Sonder. It was just before Sonder, or maybe it was somewhere between Polaris and Sonder. I can't quite remember, but it's been a minute that I've been with DW now. Maybe someone can probably Google it, but I didn't feel accomplished enough. What's the word? It was all just imposter syndrome nonsense, right? None of it is objectively true, but it was subjectively true to me. I didn't feel like I was good enough at the drums. I didn't feel like I was doing enough on the drums. Again, not true, but it was just in my mind. And I also felt like in my mind I built them up to be such a big deal in my mind that when I approached them it had to be a certain yes. It had to be a flipping certain yes. Otherwise the rejection would have like kicked me right in the face, and I wasn't up for that. So I waited until I was ready. And then DW, they I don't know if they still do this. I think they're still quite traditional in the sense that, you know, if you send them an email, don't expect to hear back. They want to have a pack sent to them with your photos and a cover letter and your itinerary for like things that you've done, kind of like a resume. I had to submit a resume of my drumming and all of my stuff. And they sit down once a month or so and they go through the things that have come in. And I heard back quite not too long afterwards, and I'm like, oh my God, I flipping got DW. And yeah, man, it was flipping crazy. And then I got my kit, and I got a maple mahogany kit, and it was flipping beautiful. Still took ages to make, but it was flipping amazing. Dan, is it me, or is imposter syndrome really bad as a musician? I think it's a little bit you, but I think it is also, again, that's a subjective thing. Some people just have an ego through the roof, and it can serve them up to a point, and they can believe that they're like the best thing since sliced bread, or whatever came before sliced bread. So I think, and I've met some of those people, and if I'm honest, they're not great to be around. If you are good and you think you're really good, you're a bit of a dick to be around, just in my experience. Like, I think pretty much everyone that I've resonated with in this industry, they're like either good and humble, or they're good and they still feel like there's stuff to learn. Does that make sense? But then there's a few people who are just like obnoxiously arrogant, but they are fantastic at the drums. Oh my gosh. And I'm talking about, I can count these people on one hand. It's not the majority of people. But I think imposter syndrome, it is real. I felt it for the longest time, even when I was like, at the start of Tesseract, I was like, oh my God, I got in Tesseract. Like, who the hell am I to get in Tesseract? But there was a little bit of a fire under me because I'd been pushing super hard to find Tesseract. Like, I was trying to find a band that was like Tesseract, writing original music that I thought was amazing, that I thought, man, there's no way that this doesn't reach escape velocity because it's so good. But then, yeah, I got the gig. And it's because I think I could play the drums all right. I was into my sugar. I was trying to play complex stuff. Tesseract was complex stuff. I couldn't play it very well when I joined. There's actually a clip of our first ever time playing Concealing Fate Part 5 in a YouTube compilation video of old Tesseract demos that I found the other day. I was looking for a specific one, and there's this recording of Part 5 from our first ever rehearsal, and it's terrible. It's so shit. We're playing really badly, especially me. But somehow it gelled enough for us to have another rehearsal and for us to come back and keep doing it. I think we could see where it would go with more practice. But yeah, I mean, I've been on tour with musicians where I've felt imposter syndrome. Like, they know that I can't do this. Definitely was a thought that came up a few times in my career. I'm on stage doing this thing with Tesseract, and in my mind, my peers are stood at the side judging. They're like, he shouldn't be doing this. He can't do that kind of fill. He hasn't practiced that thing enough. That was a mistake. All of those things, every little blip of a mistake, whether it's a ghost note out of place, a slight mis-center of a snare, like all of these things, in my mind, it's like a huge thing. And man, you watch a video back of the show, you can't even tell, especially from the audience perspective. It's right. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again because it's relevant to this. Years ago, I want to say 2015, 16, 17, something like that. Before the world shut down, before everyone was broken because of social media, before the US was on fire, we were doing a show, a festival, and I was tired. I'd got no time to set up my kit. It was a rental kit, so it wasn't mine, so I was already a bit flustered. And we started playing the show. We're playing Dystopia, so it's sometime after Polaris has come out, but before Sonder. And I look over, and to the side of the stage, it's like a festival, right? There's loads of people in front of us. We're in a tent, I think. And to the side of me, I can see Tosin and Javier from Animals as leaders, and Matt, I think, was there. And I want to say Troy Wright was there. A couple of other people were there, but like people in good bands that we knew, right? And I was making mistake after mistake after mistake. It felt as though I was just making loads of mistakes. I went to do a fill in Dystopia and just couldn't play it because the kick drum was walking away from me because I hadn't got time to lock it down before we had to go live. So I was trying to play this fill and kick's too far away, just can't play it. Concealing Fate Part 2, kick's getting further away. It was just insane. And I was so pissed off in my head. I got to a fill in Dystopia, that one. And I couldn't play it. I literally couldn't play it. And I just kind of went. I didn't play a fill because I couldn't hear where I was. I couldn't orchestrate it, and I was in my head. And in my mind, it was the biggest moment. It was the biggest fumble. I'd ruined what we were doing. And then, obviously, that wasn't true, but it was still super annoying to me at the time. I remember walking off stage, and I don't know why I did this, but like Javier was at the side, Animals' leader's guitarist, and he was like, ah, and I was like, oh man, and he went to give me a high five, and I just kind of head planted his high five as if like, fuck's sake, that was a rubbish show. And he was like, not best pleased, because I just put my sweat all over his hand, and he went and wiped it on me, and I was like, sorry man. That stuck in my mind as like a really shitty thing that I did that I didn't mean. I wasn't thinking what I was doing. And I was just down for the rest of the day. And then I saw a video later that day of that bit of the show. It was like a portrait video on YouTube, or I don't know if it was on YouTube, it was somewhere. And it was that bit of the show. And you know what? It wasn't even like a thing. You could barely hear that I wasn't doing the fill, because within the context of everything else going on, there's so much more noise out the front. And I came back in time, and it was fine. And it's like, geez, like no, it didn't change the vibe of anyone in the crowd. No one turned around and was like, oh, I've had enough now then. He didn't do that fill. He's ruined it. Imagine that. Imagine if that's what happened every time you made a little mistake on stage, half the room left. That doesn't happen. Like, and even if there is someone that's like broken enough to be like, you made a mistake, and they're judging, it's like, that person can, like, who cares? Who cares if they think that? Like, if you didn't know that they thought that, would it matter? You wouldn't know, so no, it wouldn't matter. It's just the art of, the act of knowing is the thing, and you can either get on the train to Miseryville, like catch that thought as it goes past, or let it go past. And I've learned to let these things go past. And even I've learned little techniques, like I'll laugh immediately after a mistake now, rather than getting in my head about it, because kind of what else can I do? You know, what happens in the band when one of us makes a mistake is that the other people in the band look over and give that person a wry grin. We'll kind of give them a little grin, like smile at them, like I heard that, and you know, you're calling each other a dickhead in your mind, but it's in a fun way. No one is actually angry with you. So yeah, I've learned to let all that stuff go and just laugh and smile about a stupid mistake, because it's live music. Mistakes will happen, whether you want them to or not. Are you going to have, what are the chances that you play a perfect show, that every single note that you hit was literally perfect, that if it was recorded and it was for a release, you wouldn't change a single thing about it, you wouldn't change the velocity of any of the notes, it would all be perfect? Like 0% chance of that happening. So imposter syndrome, it's one of those things that you learn to deal with, because no one is thinking about you as much as you are thinking about you. And even if they are, it doesn't matter. I could have summed it all up as that. No one is thinking about you as much as you are thinking about you. No one. And even if someone thinks that they don't like something that you've done, it literally doesn't matter, because most people don't get to hear what you do anyway. And I saw a stat the other day that it's like the most popular show in America at any one time. I can't remember the exact number, but it was shockingly low. It's like the most popular show in America at any one time is seen by 1% of the population of America, which means that 99% of the population haven't seen it. Imagine that. Like, oh my God, if you were in that show and you were just told that statistic and you weren't told that you were the most popular show in America, but you were just told, oh guys, like only 1% of America saw our show, you would be like, oh, what? We did all that work and only 1% of people have seen it. When in actual fact, that's actually huge. You know what I mean? Imposter syndrome, ladies and gentlemen. Get rid of it. Choose not to board that train because it doesn't serve you. That was a long one. That should turn into a tea time with Jay. Imposter syndrome. I flipping got into it, didn't I? It's because it's definitely something that's affected me. I think it affects everyone to a point. So there we go. I enjoyed that one. I'm going to read what you guys have been saying because I wasn't paying any attention while I was off rambling. We all have wee regrets like that, funnily enough. You fist bumped Matt from August Burns Red and told him to never change after a gig. How stupid you are to have done that. How ridiculous. I'm kidding. Like we knew each other and you felt like such a twat afterward. You know what though? He wouldn't have thought that. Like he would have thought that's cool. People have done that kind of thing to me. People say nice things in passing, and you know, you guys, you know the whole concept of sonder. You know our fourth record, sonder, right? The meaning of that word. Have you ever looked it up? Right? It's. I'm going to paraphrase. I can't remember the exact like dictionary meaning, but it's this idea that every single person in the world is like in their head and living a life as complex and as crazy as the one that you are. Every single one. And like you pass someone in the street and you're not living their experience. You've got no idea of the complexities that's going on in their life. But every single person has got something going on that's as unique and as complex as what's going on in your mind. And there's no way that what's his name, Matt from August Burns Red, in that moment was like, oh, that guy that just told me to don't change anything about myself because I'm awesome, he's a dick. There's no way that he thought that. One, he's too nice. Like, he's just a nice dude. And two, that was 100% in your head. And you let the talking, you listen to the talking monkey. You listen to that dude that's like telling you the things that aren't serving you. And it's really easy to let that happen. But something that I'm learning to do, I meditate every day, right? It's just something that I do. And the whole purpose of the type of meditation that I do is to get better at paying attention. Because what happens is the instruction will be to focus on your breath, to focus on your closed eyes. You can still see things with your eyes closed. Focus on those things. To focus on sensations in the body, turn them into just a cloud of sensations, like these kinds of things. Look for the thing in your mind that is looking, and you're like, oh, and the idea, am I supposed to find something? I don't know. But the act of looking is like, it stops you. It stops a thought. But then a thought comes in, and you don't know what it's going to be or where it's come from. It's just like a thought appears, and you can turn attention back and look at the thought. And it's like you refocusing your attention. A thought has come, but it's like, okay, Matt from August Burns Red, no. That's a thought. And just recognizing it as a thought and catching yourself doing that, and it refocuses your attention on the thing that you're supposed to be doing. I found that to be amazingly helpful because I never used to do that. I just used to ruminate on the random things that appear in your mind as they come up. And it's not helpful at all. And you can kind of test this for yourself, right? I saw someone do this experiment where you can, when someone says, think of a face from your past, right? You got no idea what it was going to, and before I asked that, you got no idea who it was going to be, where they were going to be from, like an old teacher or something. It might be someone that you met, it might be a friend that you're not in contact with anymore, whatever. Think of an object in your car. Think of, and you just keep going. Think of a part of your drum kit. Think of a game that you like. Think of something you would like to do. Think of something you would like to eat. And tick, 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 all of these things go into your mind. Where do they come from? Did you make that decision or did they just appear? You know what I mean? Sometimes you just choose the first thing that appears in your mind because it just appeared. But there are so many other things that you could have chosen, but you chose, but that one appeared. I love the idea of that. It's like, well, where do they come from then? And the same goes with composition. Well, how do we decide that this is the next bit of the song? It just appeared. I just had an idea, I heard it, and it appeared. It's crazy. It's flipping crazy. But yeah, I flipping love doing that stuff. I give myself about 15 minutes every day in the morning before I do anything. And I sit opposite this kit with my feet on the bass drum and I look this way out of the window into my garden. Sometimes the instruction is to keep your eyes open. Sometimes it's to keep them closed. Flipping love it. Hollow Knight, says Vlad. That is a good game. I've never completed it, but yeah. Meditation with Jay. You know, I had this idea for the site and it was to call a section of it meditations where it would just be 10 minutes a day and you're focused on one just repeating pattern. That's it. It's just come back to the pattern, come back to the pattern, come back to the pattern. And I've kind of launched a version of that today, but it's not called Meditations. It's called The Shed. What about that? How cool is that? Ori and the Will of the Wisps. That is a flipping game. I love that game so much. I flipping love it. Let me show you what I was just talking about real quick, because I'm proud of this. Where are we? Come on, open up, please. All right, here we go. Check this out. We did a couple of updates actually. One of them is live streams, so all of the student AMAs are in one place. The monthly AMAs, not these ones, these are just up on YouTube, but the other ones are in there. The one I'm talking about is The Shed over here. And all of these, go away, what is that? Oh, Acrobat. All of these are just like grooves, right? One-off grooves with the notation and, oh, I'm not logged in. Probably helps if I log into my own website, doesn't it? Idiot. Let's log in, shall I? Access your lessons. This would be a really good time for everything to not work. All right, The Shed. Let's click on it again now. So, here you go. You have a play-along exercise, right? And the idea is to sit with a loop of this thing. And it can be the first 10 minutes of your practice session. That's all it is. It's like when people are like, what am I supposed to do? I need to get warmed up. Like, warm up your brain and your body rather than just focusing on, like, because you've probably got something you're going to work on if you're getting into a practice session, right? But why not work on something new if you're a little bit unfocused? And that's kind of what that's for. You just dip in, you choose one, and you don't need to think too much about it. Just pick one as a starting point and get moving. The other thing, actually, that's really cool, I'll show you this, is through the rest of this month, I'm moving to a course-based presentation for the site. So rather than loads of individual lessons, we're moving to more courses, right? So we've got things like the Drumming for Beginners, Vocabulary Builder, which is like 30 exercises that are, I think, are kind of the essential ones. This one, Practical Guide to Modern Drumming, that's the one that matches my book. And then this is the new one. I'm launching a new lesson every week, the rest of this month, right? And it's all based around syncopation, which is just playing with odd timing. You might have seen this little video on social media this week that I posted out. But it's a lesson each week. So the 16th, 23rd and 30th of March, the first two lessons are out. And it's designed to be worked through progressively. So you do like, or sequentially, you do the first one, into the second one. You've got a lesson video, you've got exercises, you've got notation. Exercises look something like this. You've got notation, and you've got all of the exercises spread out as MIDI, and then you can add to a practice list, and then if you're one of my masterclass folks, you can message me as well. And the whole point, let's get off that page. The thing that I've discovered in working with my masterclass students is that the weekly delivery of lessons is like, it works so well. Rather than giving people this huge thing that's like too much to try and work through in one go, you have a weekly schedule with your thing. It makes everything bite-sized, it makes everything manageable, gives you something to look forward to, reinforces accountability. It just makes everything about it sustainable. And with it being 3 to 4 exercises, you've got something to work on each time you turn up at the kit that week, because 3 to 4 times a week is a good amount of time to be practicing, especially if you've got a kit at home and if you're looking to make meaningful changes to your drumming. So if you're interested in that, go and have a look, jpostones.com, and there's a 7-day free trial. You can check out that course and everything else on there as part of the trial. New lessons for that course are dropping every Monday, and it could be what you're looking for. Go and have a look. If you like me, you like my drumming, maybe it's in your brain. Maybe it's something that would be good for your brain, rather. Right, let's play some music. I've talked at you for flipping ages. Someone said play Natural Disaster earlier, so I will. I hear you. I will play that song for you. Let's go. Oh, I really love playing that. It's so much fun. Get this stupid little blast beat in there at the end. What you actually saw me do there was make lots of mistakes. Because one of the things I actually enjoy doing is throwing in all of the things that are happening in my brain, not on the stage with the band, not in rehearsal with the band, but when I'm just like in my own home studio, I hear all these random ideas in moments where I shouldn't be drumming, and I just throw them in. And they're never fully formed. It's just like, oh yeah, a little sketch of a thing. And as you witnessed, there was like 3, 4, 5 of them that all kind of fell apart. But if you don't do them, they don't ever turn into anything. So that's kind of the purpose of intentional practice and then jamming practice. It works really well. Was that half time? I don't know. I wasn't reading when you posted that, so there we go. That was Natural Disaster, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That is a fun one. Do we have any questions? I know some of you are dying to ask something. Literally. Look how many flipping things you guys said while I was playing that song. You flipping went for it. Amazing. We saw the mistakes, judged you hard. I know, that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I had to say something about the mistakes. Intentional mistakes they were. It's a good way to practice though. You know, you just put something on and start moving, and you either go for the thing that's in your mind and you try it, and there's like no judgment because you went for it. You're just trying to move the needle a bit, aren't you? And that's how you get better at what you're doing. It's a series of mistakes until you discover the one that works. And then, like, that's basically what I've been doing all day today, is making mistakes. Oh, what have you done today, Jay? Oh, I just made a load of mistakes. What do you do? Oh, I don't know, worked a meaningful job, got paid. Didn't do that, but I did make a lot of mistakes. But it was all in the direction of getting to a point where the consistent mistake that I'm making stops happening, and then it just becomes something I can do. Smithers. Ackle posted a clip on his new 30-inch guitar on Insta recently. Is it an actual song or just a jam? You know what? I'm not really on Instagram. This is going to sound crazy because a lot of things get posted by me on Instagram, but I'm not actually posting them and I don't have it on my phone, so I don't know that I've seen that clip of Ackle jamming. So if it's new, there's and it's not on a Tesseract album, there's a chance it could make it into a song, I would say that. Without seeing that video, I couldn't tell you in particular. Stix Preston, are you doing any more Tea Time with Jay? I did one this week that is unlisted on my YouTube at the moment because it was in response to some of my students in Discord. Now I can just unlist it. Sorry, I can make it public if people wanted to see it. Anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, you know, like the rant I went on earlier about imposter syndrome and how I tried to make everyone's life a bit better who's struggling with it. I do these kind of 2-camera conversation things, just a one-way conversation where I'm talking at a camera and people either receive me or they don't. And they're about 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and I'll publish them sometimes. And I haven't got millions of them, there's like maybe 6 of them or 7 of them. But I recorded another one the other day because someone had said something in my Discord and I thought I got a good reply to it. And typically I'm holding a cup of tea when I'm doing it, which is where Tea Time with Jay comes from. So yes is the short answer. That long answer is the post-owns answer. My family have a history of answering questions with way more words than need to be said to answer the question. Right? That's a thing. My wife will tell you that. There's like the get to the point version, like, Jay, just tell me skip to the end. Just skip to the end, tell me the punchline. I don't need to know all of the stuff. My dad and my sister are the best and worst at it. Like, they are so good at making a story. This is the dumb thing, right? I don't know how this is possible. But like, if my sister went to the optician, this is actually drawing on a thing that happened. Like, she went to the optician, got tested, got glasses. That's the story. But she tells it to you and it's an hour long at least. And it involves where she parked, how many times she turned right, like a crazy amount of detail, every single pair of glasses she tried on. Like, the thing that staggers me is the level of photorealistic detail she's able to go into in these stories. And my dad's the same. And you're like, how are you doing it? How do you do it? Meanwhile, I'm on tour, right? I'm in a different place every single day. And my update to my family will be like, yeah, tour's good. I don't know why. I can't remember. I have to be very intentional about trying to do something a little bit different or going to a unique coffee shop. That can be the thing. Whatever it is, because it turns into the same day when you're on tour otherwise. It's just, even though you're in a different place, like, if you don't leave the venue, it's the same day, you're just in a different venue, right? So you turn up to work, but the office has been rearranged. That's basically it. And not rearranged massively. It's like someone moved the pencils from there to there. That's touring in a nutshell. What's touring like, Jay? It's kind of like you just get pencils and move them to. That's exactly what touring is like. But then there's a lot of also bad smells and lots of cheese, little fruit platters, and then a room with loads of dicks on the wall. People Sharpie dicks all over venues. I don't know why. We're seeing less and less of those rooms though now, which is a good sign. I think your band is doing all right if you see less dicks on the walls of the venues you're playing in. There you go. I am down a rabbit hole with the story, but it's not one story. I went from my sister and all of that to less dicks on walls. You know, that's good. Okay. I see, now this is another rabbit hole. I'm little flipping bunny just going for it. I had a Facebook page called Venue Cock Art years ago. I think it's probably still there. And it was like all of these extravagant penises from around the world that are drawn on the walls of these venues and in dressing rooms. And some of them are, man, some of them are pretty amazing, if I'm honest. It's like, I mean, we're still quite happy when we see one because we see them less and less these days, as I was explaining. And when you get to the nice venue, people aren't like, oh, you know what I'm going to do on this white wall, on this freshly painted white wall, I'm going to draw a big dick on it. People don't do that generally. But when you've got like a wall that's covered in band stickers and like every now and then, there's dicks everywhere. Like, that's just how it is. But when you're in those rooms, it becomes a hunt. Which me and James Monteith specifically, we're always having a good look for them. And yeah, Venue Cock Art was a celebration of the venue penises from around the world. And I'm sure it's still a page on Facebook if you want to find it. There's not much on there. I don't keep it updated. But I like the idea of having this, you know, a coffee table book. Or I like the idea of having one that would be in venue backstages around the world. And it's just photos of all of the dicks from all of the walls of all of these venues all around the world. But I didn't see enough of them in the end to make a coffee table book. So it doesn't exist. But maybe we could start one again. I still think it's a brilliant idea. Fantastic. There you go. You'd buy it if I say it. So, okay, I think seriously about this then. We've got at least 2 customers here. That means it's probably worth making some extravagant hardback copy of Venue Cock Art. What do we... Yeah, coffee table book. It's like, you know what that is, surely? Or is it like, that's a terrible idea, Jay? Are you idea shaming me now? Do I ever sign the walls in my name or band name? No, we actually don't. We haven't, like, we might have in the very early days done like, Tesseract was in 19 whatever, 19 now, wasn't that early? 2006 or something. I don't think we might have drawn a little Willy every now and then. Not very many. And only contributed to. We haven't like started this. We didn't push the boulder from the top of the mountain so it would eventually be a mountain of dicks. We didn't do that, but we did make the snowball a little bit bigger every now and then. I'm not going to say I haven't done that because, you know, if you give a bloke a pen and he's not an artist, what does he draw? You know what I mean? Come on, a bunch of dudes in the chat, almost definitely. If you're not someone that picks up a pen to draw things regularly, the 3 things that are at the top of the list that you're going to draw, one of them is genitals. Another one is a stick man or something like that. And the third one, I don't know. I don't even know. I haven't got a third one. But it would be the easiest. That's what you do. What do I think of AI music? Oh. Let me think. I mean, I don't use it. I think it's inevitable. I think you probably don't even know you're listening to it most of the time. If you're just listening to a Spotify playlist, I think you probably don't know if it's new music, it's probably less and less obvious that it's AI. What I do think though is that the arts are somewhat protected from the impending AI overtake, because who wants to go and see an AI concert? You know what I mean? Maybe that's like generations ahead. Maybe like the kids that are just being born now won't care because there'll be so much of it that they just want to go out and hear it loud and jump around in a room. Maybe it becomes like the discos and stuff. It's that kind of thing. But if you like a band and you've got nostalgia for a band and you're a fan of a band, you don't want to go and see an AI version of that. In the same way, you probably don't want to go and watch holograms of Tesseract on stage. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe that could be cool. I don't think it's cool. I think you want to go and see the band. You want to go and see a production. You want to be kind of wowed by whatever's going on. You don't want some kind of heartless version of it. But, I mean, maybe an AI song hits you in the feels and you don't care. I think it's probably subjective. I think there's going to be more and more of it. Can't do anything about it. The thing that I do have an issue with is like, okay, so you've instructed an AI to create a song and you upload it to one of these platforms and now you get royalties from it. And Spotify or these big companies, the DSPs, if they're doing that, putting their own songs in, so you own the company and you're putting in infinite, endless amount of music that is AI generated and getting the royalties from it, it's just an infinite money machine. Like numbers go brrr. It's just like, it's ridiculous. Meanwhile, today I got 50 quid for the past 3 months of Tesseract royalties. Like, you know what I'm literally 58 quid I got in PRS today. So I think it's probably I don't know. It's a bit annoying, but what can you do? You know, I can't do anything. I'm not going to try and stop it. Maybe it'll be cool. Maybe it'll give some people a creative seed to start a song, start a band. I think it's probably going to ruin quite a lot of creativity. But like I said, if you're a fan of a band, if you're a fan of an artist, like you want an original painting done by a person, or you want a print from that person. You don't want some AI slop on the wall because there's nothing to it. Like, as amazing as the technology is, undeniably, it's insane. The technology is amazing. But the content from it, the creative content from it, doesn't have heart yet, I don't think. I don't know that it ever will. And I think you'll probably go to see a show and you'll probably still buy the artist's art, is what I think. That's a good talking point, though. I'm a little bit immune to it because I'm not like out there trying to listen to loads of new music. I'm trying to learn the music that I'm trying to play. That's my engagement with music more and more these days. I don't listen to very much, but I do absorb a lot of like Tesseract stuff that I'm trying to get down. So my relationship to it has changed. But I think for the listener, it's going to get more and more difficult for them to discern what is real and what is made algorithmically, let's say. Anyway, it might make real art more expensive. It might, but a price tag is like, if it's expensive for you, it's not for someone else. And it'll just become a different market of person that buys it, which is like also a thing. Like, there are people that buy yachts. You know what I mean? There are people that buy art that is in the millions. That isn't most people, but it is a market. So maybe we just need to do one show a year and charge like $30,000 a ticket. And then you don't have to do you don't have to go on tour then. You just do one big show and charge a shitload for the ticket and then you're good. But I don't like the idea of that either. That seems, I don't know, sneaky. Drums. Let's do another song. We did Natural Disaster, Echoes, I ain't done this one in a minute, and we play it on stage sometimes, so let's do it. Get some more questions in the chat for me, because I'm up for tackling them. Let's go. Oh, there we go. That was fun. I forgot, without the reference point of like vocals in the distant mix, I was like, oh God, which fill is this? And I just didn't play the fills because I didn't know which one it was. There was one at the start that I just kind of went and just missed completely. So there we go. Mistakes in real life, featuring Jay. What we're saying, you guys asked if I could play some other stuff. I can't play other stuff on here, unfortunately. I can play other stuff, but I can't play it on this channel. I tried to do that the one time and YouTube stopped the stream. So to be fair, I did play like loads of other music for the entire stream, so it might have just been because of that. Stop pointing out your mistakes. I mean, it's just a series of mistakes. Everything. You know, like I'm speaking, every single word that I say right now is a mistake in Spanish. You know what I mean? It's all, it's all just mistakes. Right. Smile. I can do Smile, but it's going to be along to the album rather than, yeah, it is. It's going to be too difficult for me to, I'd have to export it from a thing. But I can play along to the album version if you wanted me to do that. Yeah. You said something about Vola. I only know a couple of their songs from when I would do a load of live streams on Twitch. People would ask me to play along to their songs, and it was they're really good. The drummer's really good, isn't he? I've seen a few videos of what he does, and I remember I saw him, but we've never had a conversation. I feel like we've crossed paths at festivals and kind of gone hello, but we haven't actually like spoken. I'll have to say hello to him the next time. What are we saying? Life is a series of mistakes. Yeah, kinda. Right, shall play Smile? Let's do, what album is it from? It's Sonder, isn't it? Did we do that? We didn't do that at Radar, did we? I feel like, no, we didn't do it at Radar because that would have sounded a bit better. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. It's like I'm flipping tired. All right, Smile. Let's do it. What? It didn't just go to the arrow. Stupid thing. Hello! What's the kit? It's a Roland drum kit. It's a bit of a hybrid right now. VAD 516, TD50, but then on the ground over there in a box I've got the whatever it is, the V71 that I've got to set up in replace of this. So anyone that's looking for a very well looked after TD50 module as an upgrade to their current drum kit, send your boy Jay a message and we can have a conversation. Where Splash? Splash there. It's on the edge of my tom because I would normally have one there, but it's one extra input and I'm just like, nah, don't need that crap. I ran out of inputs, so I had a spare pad, but even so I'm just like, ugh. And I like that there's a little bit of a gap where you can see my chest. You know what I mean? Not that there's any definition because I'm wearing a black t-shirt and I'm not that ripped. But you know, sometimes you need to see the chest of a drummer. Otherwise, are they really there? There's no way to know. I love where my brain goes sometimes. It's the most random places. What is the green box on the floor? That is a question. It's a Porter and Davies BC2. So that's not going to mean anything for people that aren't in the drum world. What this is, it's a way for me to monitor what I'm playing, right? So imagine a subwoofer in a home cinema system or a cinema or your car. It's that, but for the drums, and the speaker is my seat. So when I hit the drums, when I hit the kick, my seat goes, and when I do around the drums, the snare, all of the toms, everything's going into the seat. So you get that low end reinforcement that gets lost when you put in-ears in. So typically you'd use them live, because it means you don't have to have a big speaker behind you firing kick drum, especially back at you. You can feel everything that you need to feel in this. So really good in-ear mix, as good as it gets. There's never any bass, right? It's just, it all gets swamped on stage because there's so much just bass transient in the room. This thing lets you dial that back in so you can kind of feel what you're feeling, what you're playing. So it's fantastic. You mean this isn't Tectone? I don't know what that is. That must be another model. But it's fantastic. I've played with them for years. Like most of Tesseract's career, I've had one of these. I've gone through the various models of them. I upgraded to the BC2 a few years ago because it's just more robust. It's its own little flight case, so you can just kind of throw it in. But it's fantastic. It's really, really good. Can you set your cymbal with any model of cymbal, for example? If you want a cymbal to sound like a riot, yeah, you can have whatever you want. You can do all of that kind of stuff in the module. For people wondering what the sounds are that I'm using this. It's my drum sound. Yes, it is. They are, it's Tune Track, and it's the Infinity Grid EZX, and it is my actual drum kit. We recorded it in Nashville a couple of years ago, and it got released in, last year, in November last year. We've got 3 drum kits in there. We got my DW kit, which is the one that you see on the screen right there. All the cymbals, all the everything. Then we did a Purple Heart kit, DW, and we did a Maple Mahogany DW. There's 5 kick drums, there's 10 snares, there's like 2 full cymbal sets, a few other different things, and there's a bunch of presets in there, right? So Steve is the engineer for the session, and he did a load of presets for us. Ackle did a bunch of presets, so guitarist in Tesseract, main dude who writes Tesseract's music. Tune Track have got a bunch of presets. I like using the Hybrid States kit. That is 100% the mix that you're hearing here. Like, I haven't touched anything about that mix, and it sounds the way I want my drums to sound. It just sounds perfect to me. So go and check that out. Tune Track, Infinity Grid EZX if you want those sounds. If you've got an E kit, it'll plug right in. You just have to have a laptop and it'll flip in, work like a dream. So there you go. Little plug for Tune Track. We've used them in Tesseract for years. It's the way that we write Tesseract demos so that we can kind of get an idea of what it's going to sound like. It's the way that I learn stuff as well. I'll program ideas in and it sounds the way I want it to sound. What about the cowbell? Oh no. See, I don't use a cowbell live, so there's not one on there. But there are cowbell sounds. They're just in different drum libraries, so you can use them. You can use them. I could play another song. I've got a few minutes before I'm going to round this stream out. Has anyone got a request for a Tesseract song that I can play on the drums? Because I can do it, you know. There's a chance I can do it. If you can name a song, there's a chance that the bald dude on the screen can do it. There was a joke that I was going to put some cowbell into a Tesseract song. When I used to stream on Twitch, we had a cowbell sound and we had a fart sound. And do you know what? I'd recorded the farts. They were original. Exile's bloody insane. King, Hollow, Eden. Man, there are all these questions. King, please. Metric Modulated Cowbell. That's the name of the next album. It is. Nocturne, King. Please play some Dream Theater, please. I'm not going to do that. I can't play other music on here. Also, I can't play Dream Theater. Of Energy, which one's that? That's Singularity, isn't it? Exile is amazing. Yes, it is amazing. It's also very difficult. There's a bit of Exile that I just can't remember. I can't remember. There's a transition in it, and it's like... It's really crazy, and I haven't practiced it or played it in such a long time. I tried to do it the other night, and I was just like, oh, how's that bit go again? Because I don't listen to the old stuff, really. Tell you what, let's... Let's do this one. All right, guys. Let's go. This is without a metronome, and I'm doing this from Spotify or Tidal. little bit of flavour at the end there. Changing it up. That's what I'm on about the flowing. Learning to flow, learning to move. There's you only need a handful of patterns, and then the vocabulary can speak. And yeah, it's fun, isn't it? Flipping drumming. Drumming's not shit, is it? As an activity, it's just like a good thing to do. Fixes your brain, gets you focused. On some levels, it's probably healthy for you. Tell you what it isn't. Cheap. Do you know what? Drums, the most inconvenient, expensive ass, noisy ass, needs a flipping separate room to practice, needs a specific car, needs like everything about your life becomes a consideration. It's like, you know, when you get a dog, you get kids, your life changes. When you decide to be a drummer, everything from that point, if you're taking it seriously, is changed, because you have to get a car where you can fit your drums in it. You have to, if you're being serious about it, consider, okay, well, the house that I want, I've got to be able to play drums in it. So like, therefore, there's a sacrifice I have to make. I probably can't live in the middle of New York, or, you know, those kinds of things. Everywhere that I've moved since I was, everywhere that I've moved, the consideration has been, can I drum in it? Can I get to a drum kit close by? I've built studios in either every house that I've lived in, or I've been very, very close to a studio that I've built, like another studio. So you got to think about that. And there's, for everything that you're not willing to do to make it the thing that you try to do as a career, for everything that you're not willing to do, and this is true for like every industry, I suppose, there's someone else that's willing to do that thing. So the goals that you end up setting, I think, I'm starting to like learn all of these things. The things that actually at this point in my career in Tesseract is that are the most important are the social relationships I've got with the people in the band and the people that I love, having fun with them. That kind of goes hand in hand with socializing. And honestly, that's like up there. If you remove that aspect from it, it's just a job. So if you're in a band and it's not on the massive stages, it's like you probably won't play Wembley. But if you're in a band and you enjoy the people you're in the band with, keep that band. Because the business of all of this takes a lifetime. And if I hadn't started it in my 20s, I don't think I'd start it now. Because it's very difficult. But the thing that you get that's long lasting, that is the biggest reward, is the awesome people that you meet along the way. And if you're in a band with people that you love, keep it. Because that's super valuable. So there you go. More tea time with Jay. It's true though. It's flipping true. You value that stuff as you get older, especially. So just think about that. Because I know some people, I've been speaking to some of my students about this kind of thing. I ask them, is the band, if the band is the thing they're trying to take seriously, right? Consider at what point of life you're in. I think it's a lot easier to do if you're in your 20s. I'm not saying that to be controversial or to say that you can't make it at any other time, but I just think, based on my experience and all of my peers who've been doing it for as long as I've been doing it, they all started, they've been doing it since their teens and they're kind of at where they are now. I think the thing that is most valuable are the relationships you get with the people and spending good time with them. If you've got that, then you are flipping solid, because everything else just gets harder from that point. As soon as you try and make it a thing that makes money, as soon as you try and make it make money, don't try and make it make money. Try and make it as fun as you possibly can, and you'll end up connecting with the people for whom it resonates anyway. Oh, that's deep. So true though. That is so true. There's nothing about this stream that I'm doing that is trying to make money from this stream. I'm trying to have fun, and you guys have made it really fun because you've joined me for it and you've asked questions and all that kind of stuff and kept me entertained and given me the ideas for where my brain goes. So thank you for that. And on that, I'm going to wrap this thing up and go and have a lovely week. Someone asked a moment ago, how often do I do this? Every week on a Friday. You can catch me here. I might start making them, I was thinking about making them a little later, but I think 4 p.m. is good because it probably catches the back end of Europe, and then the 6 p.m. crowd from the US are going to join in. I would do them later in the US, but I like going to bed, so maybe this is just the time that I do this. So yes, my cymbals are mounted to the rack. That was a question I just saw. Yes, they are mounted to the rack. Everything's on the rack, which is nice. Yeah. Drummers in the chat, go practice. If you're struggling with that, talk to me. I run a drum lesson website. It's very good. There are a bunch of my students in the chat. They will tell you how good it is. jpostones.com for anyone that's interested. You get a 7-day free trial. There you go. That's the sale. That's what we've been waiting for this entire time. I told you this wasn't about making money. There it was. Literally about making money. But being serious though, if you're interested, go and check it out. If you're not, don't worry. And I'll see you next time, next week on here, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Loads of love.